Cheers.
Good to see you.
Yes,
Okay.
good to see you.
Will you introduce yourself and tell us
Yes,
about your role in cider?
yes. Hey guys, welcome to Newtopia Cyder. I'm Rick Moreno. I'm the founder of Newtopia. In terms of my role and responsibility, I manage all brand direction, brand management, new market acquisition, um, and predominantly a little bit of distribution management. So I'm kind of more or less focused on driving the direction of where Newtopia goes. So I used to make the product many moons ago. So now my role has changed a little bit. It's geared for growth. Yeah,
Shifted, which happens over time.
it does. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the cidery, the story behind it, where you're located, how long you've been in the business, like how did it originate?
Yeah. So the name itself, Newtopia, is paying homage to Sir Isaac Newton, who founded gravity when 500 apples hit his head. Gravity was essentially a theory in the beginning, but now it's a reality. So that was a key component to it. And then also utopia, being the ideal society where everything is self-sustainable, everyone gets along. Sustainability is a key component. If you're sitting in our tasting room right now, we have skylights above us right now that make sure that we maximize light. We also recirculate our CO2 as well to create more efficiency. We never want to waste a lot. We also have a program where we also take Pactex and recycle those with a local recycler. So we always want to just constantly, trying to create a better world. So, right?
Yeah, so Newtopia.
Yeah, hence Newtopia. And started back in 2014. So we were the first cider house in San Diego since Prohibition that actually manufactured cider. So that was a big thing for us. We're in Hop Haven right now. It's a big craft beer industry. So when we came and started to produce cider, I think people were really excited about it. It was something that the Northwest has done for a number of years, and it was the right time to get into it in 14. Fast forward now, 10 years later, we're producing more and shipping to different locations now. So the business has definitely evolved. Used to be a cute little tasting room for the locals, which it still is. We have a tasting room for our locals to make sure they get all the cool stuff before it goes out into the market. Anything that's produced here, we want to at least R&D it for at least a year to make sure that we need to make any recipe tweaks we do, and then we can can it and then just send this to all different parts of the states. Yeah.
Eventually, would it be everywhere?
Yes. Eventually, yes. Globally, we'll be global here soon.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to become the strongest regional cider house first. That's the first, vision of what we want to do. We have almost all states except two that we currently distribute to. So we're getting closer.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
What got you into cider? Like why cider? Of all the things.
I'm a craft beer enthusiast. My wife's wino. We thought that this was a nice compromise for both of us to actually have a fun social agenda together. So that was a key component. The second component was I love distillation, but I didn't feel like aging something for 3 years and paying rent. So I love brandies, I love doing eau de vies, I love doing schnapps, but I just didn't feel like letting it sit and wait and not being able to sell a product. So I just reverse engineered the raw ingredient, which is the apple. So I can take the apple, crush it, press it, ferment it, secondary packaging in a very short amount of time now. So I can print money now. It's a lot different, right? And this is a business.
Sitting and waiting.
Yes, exactly. Than waiting for 3 years. So fast forward 10 years later, now I'm able to produce our eau de vies, which is great. It's only for the tasting room. We'll be buying those in 750s very soon, taking those to the broad market. But for now, it's just private estate, family reserve. Okay. Every now and then the members get a little bit sampling of it, but for most parts, just for family gatherings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long from like juice to like into the world is it for your like production?
14 days.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
just
rip and grip.
let it ferment.
We
And
do.
just get out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it does. I mean, it takes a bit of fermentation augmentation. We have a PLC that manages the fermentation process to create consistency. That's a key component. We want to make sure that everything that's tasted in the taste room tastes the same in Seattle or Portland or Vegas or Montana or Phoenix or San Francisco, right? It's got to taste the same.
Yeah.
Consistency is a key component for us. So we leverage technology for that.
That quality control.
It is. I mean,
if I taste it here, when I take it home, I want it to taste the same.
It's got to taste the same.
It's got to taste the same. Otherwise, I'm like,
yes.
I'll have to
what
go back to San Diego.
Right, exactly. So, great question.
What makes your cider special or unique?
Just like brewers dry hop, we dry spice.
Okay.
So I learned that being in San Diego, dry hopping different ciders, I thought to myself, well, hey, we can do this with a spice, herb, and fruit. And we always like to use those components in our products. So that way it creates a bit more of a unique boutique feel out in the market. And it's one of those where a consumer will drink and say, I've never tasted this like anything like this before. And it's kind of that aha moment where their eyes pop up and said, I thought this cider was just like typically sweet, or overly brute, right? So we have kind of a nice scheme of products that consumers can relate to. That's the biggest component, right?
And they're all
drinkability is key. Yes,
crystal clear.
And I just feel like it's important to be able to produce a product that shocks people. Shock value is a key component for us.
Yeah, it's not what they expected.
You're exactly right. It's not what they expected.
You want it to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the tap room right now, and I can see that there's a lot of ciders on tap. So how many ciders would you estimate that you've like R&D'd and put out into the world versus like how many are actually like in cans or like out there in the market for people to like purchase that aren't coming to the tap room?
So we do 18 to 20 rotational ciders every quarter. So next time you come in here, there'll be an entirely different scheme of ciders up there. I mean, we do keep our core products up there as well. But we've gone through maybe 150 different recipes over the past 10 years, and we've taken those that do really well in the taste room for at least a year. It has to be sampled, tweaked, and then anything that goes in a can out there, you guys, that product has been in our tasting room for a very long time, so it does get R&D'd, and we want to make sure that it just hits the right taste bud before it goes out. Yeah.
So if I, went into a bottle shop in, one of the states that you distribute to, and I was in, Washington or Oregon or someplace like that, what would be available? What could I find potentially?
We have 5 core products. So Soiree is our semi-dry, so it's Fuji, Gala, Honeycrisp, Red Delicious, Granny Smith. We take that, ferment that in champagne. I think you just tried that a little bit ago. That's one of my personal favorites. Does really well in San Francisco, Sonoma County, Napa. Temecula loves it.
The wine regions love it.
They do.
Is. It's like a white, a little sweeter white wine.
It is. Yeah, exactly. It's like a Chenin Blanc, a little bit like, a little less sweeter than a Riesling, almost like a Sauv Blanc-ish. So I think it resonates with wine consumers.
Yeah.
And then we have Budacris, which is a blueberry Meyer lemon champagne cider. Does really well in the South for us. People get it, right? But that kind of takes like the sangria consumer, the sour beer consumer, and then of course like the cider purists, and they drink that and like, God, this is tart. This is dry with a clean Meyer lemon champagne finish. So it kind of takes a few different demographics. So Soiree, Budacris, Chimea River,
which I think is what I'm
drinking right now. We love Chimea River. And it's like an apple pie chai, really easy to consume. Our first gold medal winner here in San Diego. It's really one of those where people have tasted it in Disneyland and they know it. And anyone that comes into Disney can try it. Downtown Disney, California Adventure, they just absolutely adore it. So that's in the market. We also have POG, The Hawaiian Islands are very close to us. So we want to pay homage to them. It's like a 5-hour flight. So pineapple, blood orange, pink guava, same 5 apples fermented in champagne. Uber tropical, think like tiki, right? Think like tiki, think tropical, bright, refreshing. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like on a beach.
Yeah. So we have to produce products that resonate with San Diegans.
Yeah.
And produce products that are refreshing, that are extremely bright and flavorful. So POG, and then we also have our 5th core product, which was a seasonal last year. It did so well that we had to make it a core product, and that is our watermelon fiesta. It's an agua fresca style cider that with our same 5 apple blend that we ferment with watermelon and champagne, and it's just bright, flavorful. It's not overly sweet, which is a key component, but has nice body to it. And I think that people love taking that, doing 6 ounces of watermelon rocks, 1.5 ounces of añejo with the chamoy and Tajín rim. I mean, it's just fascinating to see what people do nowadays with our products.
I love it.
It's diverse, yeah.
I think it's great that cider cocktails are kind of having a little moment right now too, where people are like, okay, let me take my alcohol and add more alcohol to it, but have it not be like so overwhelming that you're like, I'm just drinking booze.
Exactly.
But like the flavors and the profiles and the botanicals and the fruits and all that just like play well with other.
You hit it right on the spot. I mean, this is very malleable product. You can just pick the flavors right off, and it's very a bigger depth of flavor.
Yeah.
So, right?
I like it. I love it. Okay. Any like either funny stories from the cidery, like disasters, or like flavors that you tried that you were just like, we can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, we've any cider house is going to go through some expensive mistakes. Luckily, I've had some good relationships, like Scott Katzma up at Seattle Cider Company, Chris Schilling, over at Schilling, and then of course I think we were talking about Christine from Bauman.
Yeah.
These are all just iconic makers that have helped me significantly in the beginning. And so if it really wasn't for those cats, it's a big shout out to you guys out there, and giving me some insight on how to produce a product. The quality of product that we're doing today, is a direct reflection of their help.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I've had a mistake. We had a single varietal Granny Smith come up, and we just took it right off the tanker truck right into our tanks, and we weren't watching it closely enough. I thought I had a little bit more time in the primary before we could set it off, and believe it or not, it just started going. 4 or 5 days later, I had no clue. I saw the PRV valve go up a little bit, so I knew that there was some fermentation going on. And so I just, opened the blow-off valve, and sure enough, it just started just bubbling. And I'm like, gosh, what do we do? I just spent so much money on this.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do, and I was like, what are we going to do? How do we do this? And we just kind of let it go for a little bit. And it was definitely a mistake to not watch it closer. And believe it or not, it ended up being one of the best-selling products we've ever had. It was a total mistake.
Yeah.
And it was like a lower ABV side, like 4.5, 5%. But it had a little bit of residual sugar as well. So it had some nice flavor with some acidity.
Nice.
And we just got lucky at the end of the day.
It's funny when stuff like that happens, where you're just like, just the happenstance creates it. And,
yes.
Yeah. I love too that you talk about like how you have had these other cider makers in the industry that have helped support you, and I feel like in this industry, and having been in it for like 6 years now, they are so welcoming and supportive and just always willing to like share their ideas with anyone. They're like, okay, here's the thing that I make, and you want to make it too? Okay, I'll tell you exactly how I did it. Like they have no qualms about that, because they're like, well, you're going to do it, but it's not going to come out exactly the same anyways.
It won't.
And maybe people will love yours and not love mine anymore, but at least we get people drinking cider.
I think what you're talking about is all ships rise with the tide.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Ciders, right. It's such a small niche, and it's very young. That there is a lot of information exchange that goes on.
Yeah.
And that's key, because those can be very expensive mistakes that you can mitigate especially if you're an early cider maker in the stages of just starting.
Yeah.
Having access, because it's not what you own, it's what you have access to.
Yeah.
And knowledge is power, right? So being able to solicit that counsel for me was a key component. And I still talk to all those guys up north to this day. We always tease each other what it was like 10 years ago.
But the OGs.
It is. It's the OG, and they're doing some great things up there. I mean, I tip my hat to them. I also tip my hat to craft beer. If there was no craft beer, there'd be no craft cider. That's just my own personal opinion. It's a little bit different in your neck of the woods. Craft cider's been up there for a very long time, but down here in the Southwest, craft beer really made us.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego is like the craft beer mecca. I mean, there's breweries that have been here for so long and creating, that trajectory away from the like Coors and Budweiser and all that. But they were like, here's what beer can be.
Right.
And like getting back to those old roots of it.
You're exactly right.
Cider's just kind of moving its way into.
There was 284 breweries when I started in 2014. We were the first cider house to market. So you could
in San Diego.
Just in San Diego County.
Yes. Okay. Well,
so
that's a lot of breweries.
It was, and there's still new ones popping up.
Yeah,
which
and
is great.
Some going away, and
Exactly. But the reason why these IPAs taste so well in San Diego is because of our hard water.
Oh, which makes different beer.
Oh, big time. So it does. So I think that is another differentiator with us too, as well. We have hard water down here.
Yeah.
And so that provides a little bit more minerality in our product, which is nice. That's the last secret I'm going to give you. But no, it does. Again, like there's different components. There's terroir.
Yeah.
Right. They're a big component of different flavors of cider. So for us, it's an influence of craft beer, craft wine. That has really helped us kind of traverse into this business.
Yeah, where we are now.
Crazy, yeah.
Speaking about like terroir, I know that your ciders, like the base of them, is that blend of culinary apples. But you've done some single varietals. So what's your favorite cider apple or apple that you would like love to just get as much of as you could and like make a single varietal cider?
If I had a dream to produce maybe 3 single varietals up here. We have some really good Arkansas Black. My personal favorite up in Julian is the Gold Rush single varietal. It's very unique to Julian. And really some of these crab apples, the Wixon crab does really well. High bricks, high acidity. So if I was able to sprinkle some magic berry dust on growing some of these particular single varietals that the rest of the world could try, those were the 3 that I would do. I've done them before. The locals go berserk wild over it, because they're like, oh my God, it's
different.
It's different. They don't know what single. You say single varietal here, no one knows.
Yeah.
Because you guys have.
And people who drink wine know. I mean, we have so many wines that are like the conjunction between wine and cider really is when we make those single varietal ciders. Like it's just the same as in wine. Those grapes that are named after that thing taste this way. And these apples that are named a certain name taste a certain way.
Yeah, like like in California we have Cabs. Right? Like that's a big grape up here. Like Walla Walla's in Oregon, so you have that Walla Walla grape up there, right?
Walla Walla's in Washington.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It is in Washington, guys. I knew that. Just checking.
Just making sure that I knew.
But you guys have unique.
In different regions, there's things that grow better than others. And
it does.
Yeah.
What you're known for, right?
Yeah.
So we do source all of our apples from Yakima, from Wenatchee, Tri-Cities, Omak, Republic, essentially Eastern Washington.
Okay.
So, and then all of our adjuncts come from the Willamette Valley. So we have to go where the best products are. And you all have that up in the Northwest. We bring them down and, and create magic and then can it and then send the stuff right back up.
Yeah, so. And then we get to drink it again. It's you're the little middleman.
It is.
Between taking
a little magic. Yeah, exactly. So.
What advice would you have for someone who wants to work in cider? Based on your experience, or like somebody either who wants to start a cidery or just like wants to get more involved in the industry. Either way.
I think taking a trip to Europe,
Ooh.
to maybe Spain, to the Basque region, I think is a good start. If
Hmm.
you don't have, I mean, that's a lot of time and money for that, but it is a good region for you to try. They've got really unique cidras up there,
Yeah.
and I think getting kind of like the global perspective of cider, and going to different countries and trying it. But of course, if you don't have the time to do that, I think a key component is to visit other cider houses in the Pacific Northwest region,
Mm.
or working for a cider pub, right? Yeah, working for a cider pub and working in front of house
Hmm.
to be able to understand the delivery of the product, and understand, because if you go to a pub, a cider pub, cider house, they'll have a multitude of other cideries that are being served, and so you can kind of learn through them.
Hmm.
Like Schilling, for example, up there, they have a wonderful taste room up there. They
Hmm.
support us a lot. They bring our products in.
Yeah, and they
Um,
have like 30 something taps, and usually it's not all theirs. Like they always
yeah,
have guest ciders on
and
tap.
that is, I have to tip my hat to them. That is absolutely brilliant. I think
Hmm.
that's a great idea. And working for someone like that can get you access to other cider houses to learn the flavor profiles.
Yeah.
And then if you get the opportunity to work in, let's say, for example, at the very bottom, washing kegs,
Hmm.
right? That's where everyone starts here, right? Washing kegs.
Not
It's
glamorous,
definitely not
but it's
glamorous.
essential.
It is essential. Yeah, my guys do a great job. Everyone starts at the bottom. That's mandatory. You have to start washing kegs regardless of how much experience you've had in the industry. That's just where everyone starts. And
Okay.
that's mandatory. And then traversing into cellarman to understand sanitization. That's a key component. These guys are like pristine when it comes to,
Hmm.
I mean, they're glam. I mean, we're all glamorized sanitizers back here, right? That's just the reality.
Yeah. If it's
Uh,
not clean, and we're not drinking
that's
it.
exactly right. So, but I think getting in the front of house, traversing to the back of house, is a good way to do it, and then just traveling to different regions, like even like for example, it'd be great to have you go to the Northeast.
I've gotten to try some
Have
stuff from
you?
over there. They always do cider. They've done CiderCon over in Chicago a few times,
Oh,
and so they'll
cool.
bring like
Yeah.
Michigan ciders in and ciders from New York, and I'm like,
Nice.
this is
Right?
it's different. They're different because they're grown.
So
The apples
different.
are grown in a different place. They
Right.
just taste different. I mean,
They
I
do.
still have a place
E
in
and
my heart
W.
always
Yes, of
for like
course.
Pacific Northwest ciders
Yes,
because there's
yes.
just something about the apples grown there that
They're the best,
make me
I
happy.
think. Yeah, no, I mean, I must say they're the best. There's a reason why we source up there.
Yeah,
The
and
volume.
an abundance of we have an abundance of fruit, which is great.
Exactly. So that's what I suggest to all the newbies that are out
Yeah.
there. Again, travel, get a job, start at the bottom, work your way up.
And just try a lot of cider. I think
Yes.
that what starting this 6 years ago was like the best thing for my palate because I used to just drink the things that I knew because I was like, well, I know I like this lemon basil cider, so
Right,
I'm
of
going to
course.
keep drinking this lemon
Right.
basil cider.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, I can only post about a lemon basil cider so
So
many
much.
times
Yeah.
until people
Yeah.
are like, do you drink anything
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
then it just like opened my palate to try all these new things, and there was all these ciders that I started trying that I never would have ever tried, and I realized that I love I love a funky cider. Like give me some
Yeah. Yeah.
hay
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
leather and all of that. And people are like, you're describing something made with apples. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, and it's
Yeah.
delicious. And I
Yeah.
never would have tried that if I hadn't steered away from that one that I always
It's a
drink.
very good point. I mean, you have a luxury of being able to have those different types of ciders in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, we do.
That is an amenity, I think, that not a lot of people do have, but yet
Yeah.
you're able to explore, and I think that's the key component is that you're willing to smell and taste something different, and like for you training your palate to become a pommelier. I have to tip my hat to you. That is awesome. That
Thank
took a
you.
lot of work. Yes, and yeah, studying. So not a lot of people can do that, but what it does show you that you're not scared to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's a key component with any newbies that come on board. It's okay to try something that you may not be aware of.
Yeah.
Right.
And you might not like it, but
Right.
somebody does. And if you
Exactly.
can describe it to someone,
That's right.
then you can understand the consumer. And
That's
that's
right.
going to make you, if you go into the cider industry, better at
does.
that because you're like, oh, you like this thing?
Yes.
Let me
Yes.
tell you something that tastes that way, even
Yeah.
if it's not my preference, but you would like this thing.
You're absolutely right. We do all New American modern seasonals here.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a lot of people that do request some old world products, and we do throw some up. And just describing the farmhouse horse blanket, old world.
Yeah.
They're just like, yes, just try it. And we have one that right now that was barrel aged in a gin barrel for 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then with a little bit of sea salt and a little bit of grapefruit. So it's very malleable.
Okay.
And they drink it, and it's called Sterling. One of our, we have a lot of OGs that just love this product, but it's just way different
than anything else.
Yeah, it's high ABV, it's big depth, super like unique, I guess. But try those. I think in training your palate like you have.
Yeah.
I think is like probably another suggestion I would recommend to the newbies that come out to this.
Oh yeah. You can't just make what you like.
Can't just make what you like. Nope.
Yeah. And
nope.
I mean, you could, but you're only going to go so far because you're only going to go with the people who like the same things that you do. And maybe it's super popular. Maybe you have the best palate and you like all the best things. I don't know. So thinking about, new people coming into the industry, but on the other side of that, like what's your hope for this industry? Like what do you hope happens in cider in the next 5 years, 10 years? Yeah,
you've got me at a really good tipping point right now with craft cider. Craft beer has been down 6.5%. Craft cider right now is up 1.7%, so it's flat, but it's still trending north. We just recently eclipsed Angry Orchard in our region of sales based on volume and growth rate. So that was a huge one for us. Yeah, after 10 years, it's great. Don't get me wrong, like I have to tip my hat to Angry Orchard. They, put cider, on a broad scale.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's gateway cider. They try it and they're like, this is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me try some other things too.
Right. Yeah. So now I think that's opened up people's mindset to try other, libations. And so, cider right now, we're probably on a 10-year run right now. I think the market right now, from what I'm seeing, is that it's still in the infancy stages. Okay. And even though it's been drank for hundreds of years, right, we all know that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Prohibition kind of knocked it down.
It did,
a couple
yes,
steps, but
yes.
It's coming.
It is. It is, and I think seeing craft brewers starting to make cider, I think they're starting to get it. Right.
It's what people want, so now they're making it too.
It is. Yeah. So. I do think it's time that craft cider has had the visibility that it does today, and it's only going to go up for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I agree with you. I'm like, cider is.
It is.
It's gonna be the thing, and I think, bridging that gap between beer and wine and even like cocktails for people who drink that, like finding a beverage that isn't what people have an assumption of it being, of just being sweet and it just tastes like apples. It tastes like Martinelli's.
Exactly.
Like,
no,
it can taste like so many other things. I promise.
Yeah, but it's a leap of faith.
Yeah. Right. See, I'm gonna ask another question that who makes a cider that you wish you made?
Who makes a cider that I wish I made?
Yeah, like a cidery that you tried their cider and you're like, I wish that I had made this first, or I wish that I could just like copy this and put it in the world and be like, this was mine.
Yeah, it's funny. There is one particular cider house in San Sebastian, north of Spain, northern Spain. It's the Basque region, and I went there maybe in 2012.
Okay.
And gosh, I've never tried anything like this. This particular cider house had their own orchard, and they would also source out of country, which was slick. And I know it was really cool.
They don't really do it over there.
Yeah, they have access to it. I know, right? I know.
Don't tell you.
No, exactly. But I think being able to see them ferment these large, massive, 3,000-gallon wood oak, just fermenters.
The big barrels, right? They're just like,
yes,
yeah, like huge. Like you stand by it, and it's like still going forever.
Yes,
yeah. I've seen pictures. I've never been.
It was just the experience was amazing because they would just pull the nail,
Yeah.
And this thing would shoot out literally 30 feet. 30 feet because of the pressure.
Yeah.
It would shoot out 30 feet, and there was a line of about 50 of us. And we would just come in and tilt our glass to the side. This thing would shoot, and it would hit our glass. We'd get a splash. And so we were just rotating in line for about 45 minutes in this line.
Wow.
And it was so unique because, like, the farmhouse component, like you were saying.
And I think a lot of Basque region ciders are like naturally fermented, so they get that too, or they just let the apples do what they want to do.
It is. And so to see that, to be able to reproduce something like that, which for me here would be nearly impossible because of their terroir, right? Of course, and the access of apples that they have.
Yeah.
You know, that would just be like just fascinating to do that. So if I could do that and can it, I think that would be cool. The cool part was when I was over there, they were fascinated with us actually canning cider.
Because they do everything in bottles.
They do.
Yeah.
And so I brought some samples with them in cans, and they were just fascinated with manzana, which is apple, right, in Spanish. They were fascinated with this. And so fast forward, 5 years, 6 years later now, I'm just looking at their Instagram, and they started canning.
Oh my
which
goodness.
is great.
Like,
yeah, they have a wonderful semi-sweet that they can now.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
it's like this cross-cultural.
It is. It was
thing.
awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, so that would be the one I would love to replicate. Basque ciders, but it's just so tough.
Yeah, and I think in the space and the it would be a whole new thing. Like you'd have to have all new equipment.
All new,
It would just be different.
It would just of course. I mean, everything here is clean. Everything over there is like bread.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, right,
it's completely different. You'd have to have almost a different facility.
You would.
A separate line.
You would, yeah, everything, which is amazing, but
not right now.
Not right now. Yeah.
So I've got two more questions for you.
Yeah.
And they kind of like are opposites of each other. Which is
okay.
Nice. Okay. The first thing is, what is the thing about your job that you just, if you could pass it off to somebody else, you would in a heartbeat. Like it's the thing you like doing the least.
My home address is Delta Airlines. So I'm constantly in the market. I'm in San Diego for 1 week, and then 3 weeks a month, I'm constantly traveling. It's kind of tough spending time away from the family. But it is still gratifying to be out there to, of course, represent the brand. I think it's a lot of brand gravity when I go out there and they see the founder. So the travel component is definitely a challenge. If I had to pick one role to kind of hand off, it would probably be that, to be able to maybe step back a bit from that. But I know that the timing right now is the tipping point for craft cider. So I probably won't stop doing that for another 5 years.
Okay. But eventually you're like.
Eventually I get to that. Yeah. Eventually I'll be able to step away. We do have a new vice president of sales that has been on board with us for about almost a year. And I'm constantly learning. And so the new guys out there, just keep an open mind, right? I think that's a key component, and just learning the business. You'll make some very expensive mistakes, let me tell you. But yeah, I think the travel is the biggest component. I'm on at least 6 days a week at minimum. I know I usually say Sundays just for family, and then I'm.
Sorry.
I know, right? No, that's
like,
just the reality.
A message to me and it's like
no. This doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Like it's just a pal that you and I've known each other for a number of years.
Like at least 6.
And exactly.
Yeah.
So
run into it. It's always fun when I see you outside.
I know.
I'm like,
I know. I know. You know all the same people as I do now. You're in the game now.
It's a small world.
It is a small world.
A small world. A small, lovely world. Cider people are the best people. I always say it, and I believe it to my core. Cider drinkers, cider bakers, cider anybody involved in cider.
It is. Are the best people. Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of ego in cider, which I like the best, and I'm thankful for influencers like you and just advocates of the industry to be able to want to show the rest of the world what we do. I wish there was a lot more of you, but fortunately, I think you're the right person to be able to convey the message, right? It is. You're a sommelier now. You've had the education.
Yeah.
You have a trained palate. You know a lot of stakeholders in the industry. So there's a lot of weight to that, right? That a lot of the new guys.
That this was going to be a
yeah, right.
complimentary
No, that's just the reality, though.
Yeah, no, I
right?
think
Like there's no influencers that have that.
Yeah, it's a smaller niche for cider influencers. There's not very many of us, but all of them that I've met have been. They're all amazing. They're just the sweetest people. They're not in it to like get clout and like attention for themselves. They really are truly in it because they love the beverage, which I think is important. Speaking of love, my final question is like, what about cider and your job like gets you out of bed in the morning? Like, what do you love about it? What's the part that like you do this, no matter how crappy of a day it was, like that's the thing that sparks joy for you?
There's a lot of those days sometimes because you do, I'm working probably 13 to 14-hour days at minimum. And that's just Monday through Friday. And then typically Saturdays and Sundays I'm maybe putting in 4 or 5 more hours on the weekend, and that could be either done through travel or through just in-person visits, right? For me, I love the shock value when a consumer comes to me and says, I only drink Bud Light, or I only drink, I only drink tequila. I'm a tequila guy, or I only drink stouts. I don't drink ciders, right? So when I'm engaging them, I say, okay, I understand. Hey, I get it. I understand, but give me your honest opinion about this. I want your brutally candid, honest opinion about what you think about this, right? And they take it and they smell it and they nose it and they kind of just put their eyebrows out, and then they drink it and they get the first sip and they kind of have this like unique like moment where it's almost like their mindset has changed a bit.
Okay.
And then they take the second sip and they're like, I really like this. And I said, I didn't want to say anything. I just simply wanted your honest opinion. What do you think? She says, well, I never knew that craft cider tasted like this.
Yeah.
I have this preconceived notion that cider was overly sweet, or the stigma that was maybe just primarily geared towards sorority girls, or something to that extent. So when I was at a wet demo yesterday at a grocery store, and I had tequila drinkers, stout drinkers, were elated. So their eyes would just pop up and say, "What else you got?"
Like,
and then I was in, right?
Yeah.
So I think just changing the mindset to explore a bit is a key component, because everyone's so narrow-minded, and I'm hoping that people like you are able to at least get in touch with some of these people to know, because that's why I make sure I'm always out there to promote the integrity of the raw ingredient and the finished product.
Love it.
That's a very key point. So I love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
I love it. Well, cheers to opening people's minds to ciders.
Thank you, Ava. This is amazing.
Well, thank you
so much. Hey, we'll see you guys out there. Make sure you check out at Newtopia Cyder. That's our handle on Instagram, and drinknewtopia.com is our new website.